Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. So, it wasn't too long ago we were talking about this, and we're talking about it again. We have more manhole covers exploding. And looking back, there's been a continuation of cases. It's just been ongoing. And so, this is something that happens occasionally in the past, but now it seems to be happening more and more. And greater events as well that are causing, evacuations. So what is going on exactly? Is this related to the earth changes that we're seeing all around? Is this related to perhaps some sort of plasma event? As we've been talking about the changing conditions going on, the loss of the magnetosphere, the increase in cosmic rays coming in, and basically the dynamics between what goes on the inside of the planet with the weather systems and everything else that's going on all around. So here we have manhole fires erupt in Hell's Kitchen. Jersey Boys Theater is evacuated, and so this is published on the 16th. This is new, and several manholes erupted in flames in Hell's Kitchen on Sunday evening, causing subway lines to bypass the area. That's significant. And the evacuation of a theater performance of Jersey Boys. Video posted to social media showed flames shooting high in the air and people running away. The manholes lit up on 50th Street between 8th and 9th Avenues. The MTA said C and E trains were skipping the 50th Street station in both directions while police investigated the fire. M. Eric Johnson said on Twitter that he was in the audience at New World Stages for a performance of Jersey Boys when an announcement said the show was on hold due to technical difficulties. He said the theater was evacuated shortly after 8 p.m., and here we see a photo of the evacuated theater. And so this was canceled because of the manhole explosion outside the theater. Con Edison confirmed that at least 3 manholes were involved. No one lost power as a result of the fires, said Con Ed, and the cause of the explosions wasn't known. So that's curious. Cause not known. And here again, this is out of Eyewitness News. Flames shoot up from the ground in Midtown. And, this is talking about basically this same event. And again, they still don't know exactly what caused this. And so looking over and looking deeper, I saw there was 10 underground explosions that sent smoke flying through Atlanta, and 10 very large explosions sent thick smoke into the air in Atlanta's Midtown neighborhood, shut down major streets during the height of Wednesday morning commute, according to authorities. And so this was from the 6th. Atlanta Fire Rescue spokesman Sergeant Cortez Stafford said rainwater runoff may have caused an underground transformer to explode in the area. No one was injured in the explosions, no apparent damage to Emory University Hospital in Midtown, next to where the explosions occurred. So when firefighters arrived at 8 a.m., Stafford said the breakers on another street have already been tripped. That cut power that was going to those transformers, which in turn put the fire out and caused the explosions to cease. The smoke eventually dissipated. Authorities closed multiple streets, most of which reopened before 3 p.m. Witnesses tweeted videos from the scene showing a series of quick, loud pops and flashes of light coming from grates under the sidewalk near the hospital. According to Georgia Power, those grates are intended to ventilate the underground area where the transformer is housed. And then when things quieted down, thick plumes of smoke were seen rising several stories into the air over Peachtree Street. John Kraft, a spokesman for Georgia Power, said it appears the issue is isolated to a single transformer. And we've talked about transformers before. Remember the sky turning blue. Manhole cover explosions jolt Albany residents from sound sleep. This is on February 1st. Owners of Albany buildings damaged by the exploding manhole covers on Friday morning spoke with News Channel 13, happened in an area of State Street and Henry Johnson Boulevard in Albany on Friday morning near Washington Park. The building damage the most dates back to 1898. The explosion sent people out of their homes into the streets. News Channel 13 has been covering the story since it broke. For people that lived through it, it wasn't just a rude awakening. They say it was a horrifying, terrifying experience. They call it not just unbelievable, but unimaginable. National Grid said, even though this doesn't happen every day, it isn't an altogether uncommon event. The pressure apparently built up in underground electric cables due to melting snow and salt that seeps into the ground. That causes a major malfunction in the utility infrastructure when it happens. The energy created underground is so immense that the two heavy manhole covers dislodged. Adjacent buildings shook violently. There was an underground fire. Thick plate glass windows were blown out, raining on streets and sidewalks with broken glass. The draperies were blown out from the windows into nearby trees. More than 100 residents were forced from their warm beds. I assumed it was a two-car collision out there, said Wint Aldrich, one of the building's owners. I went to the window, looked out, and could see some people and somebody calling out to somebody else, "Are you all right?" But I didn't see the accident, so then I went, well, I'm going to open the window to see it better. And the window was gone. It's beyond an inconvenience. It's disappointing and very sad, said Tracy Rosen, another owner. I agree with my husband that we want to know how this could happen. National Grid promised on Friday things would be back to normal in 12 to 24 hours. And this is not the first time downtown Albany has seen problems with manhole covers. News Channel Quick 13 did a quick search in our archives and found a number of incidents. In 2016, 11,000 people lost power after a manhole cover blew at South Pearl and Arch Streets. In 2015, a manhole cover exploded near Madison Avenue near Washington Park. And in 2014, concerns over aging infrastructure were raised when torrential rains backed up the drainage system, which blew off a cover. So the question is, are these things becoming more and more common? It does seem so. Underground electrical fires lead to manhole explosions in the South End, and this is Boston. Boston firefighters sprang to action after two manhole explosions rocked the South End of Boston on Monday afternoon. And this is February 11th. Approximately 1:25 p.m., Boston Fire Department said it received a report of two manhole fires, one at Columbus Avenue, another at Isabella Street. The District 4 firehouse, which is at 200 Columbus Ave, responded because firefighters heard the explosion. One manhole cover was forced off completely, the other was left slightly ajar. At 2:42 p.m., the firefighters reported they had knocked down the underground electrical fires and there were no injuries. Firefighters said that one manhole explosion broke the windows of a building at 34 Isabella Street. A woman working in the area told WCVB that the force was enough to shake her desk, which is 49 stories above the ground. Firefighters said they had to change their firefighting method since the fire was electrical in nature. We used fire and ice. It's a gel mixture. Our hazmat companies are trained in it, and what it does is it flows in and forms a bond around the arcing and electrical wires to make it safe to stabilize. Firefighters said they checked the basements of surrounding buildings for smoke and high levels of carbon monoxide, didn't find anything. The Boston Fire Department said one firehouse lost power and was operating on generator power. Eversource Energy is now investigating the incident. Obviously, they're looking for the cause. And this is Salem, Massachusetts. Cause unclear for downtown Salem man cover explosion as well. And this was at Essex and Seawall Streets early Wednesday morning. This is February 13th. And so, again, the same sort of scenarios that we are seeing. In this case, they got high CO readings on the block, but they still don't know the cause. And then over here, underground explosions close Route 202. This is up in the Hudson Valley. New York State Police announced that Route 202 was closed Saturday night, and this is the 10th. For emergency utility work, closure was between Hudson Valley Hospital Center and Conklin Avenue. A loud explosion again, and what they heard was a transformer explosion underground that damaged a gas main. It was so strong that a debris field was found across Route 202 and throughout the front parking lot area and the main entrance of the hospital. The explosion was powerful enough for both manhole covers to land approximately 100 feet away and to split one into two pieces. That's pretty powerful, and we see some photos from it. So do you think this is all normal? It's interesting. I don't remember this in the past. Perhaps it has happened, but I've never seen mention of it in the past before, like the last year or two. And now it seems like it's happening left and right everywhere we look. And this was posted on January 30th. Transformer explodes, sending manhole cover in the air into pieces. And this is Kansas City, Missouri. And so, more and more of this. And again, transformer blew up. So why are the transformers blowing up? Is it just simply because of the floods and the weather? Is there something else involved? I mean, is it partially perhaps because of maybe movement in the earth itself going on, as well as plasma discharges going on? Is it related to perhaps some construction going on of the deep underground tunnels that we have talked about as well? What is really going on? Lynn Street closed after explosion heard in Roslyn, and this is February 5th, as we see again. Another electrical explosion. Dominion has confirmed to authorities loud boom was caused by malfunctioning underground transformer. Another transformer blowing. Why are these transformers going left and right all the time? And this is in Virginia, Arlington area. So what's up with that? What's up with these transformer power surges going on? And then, of course, the one that we all saw so much was the one in LaGuardia that caused the whole sky to turn blue. You guys remember that. And again, transformer. So, we have so many things happening. We have, Homeland Security saying, get ready for 6 months of life without the grid. Be able to handle it on your own, because you might not get any help from the government when it happens. And so you should be prepared for 6 months without any power. And we see all these transformer explosions everywhere, manhole covers blowing up. Of course, we have all these mystery booms and mystery noises going on that, perhaps some of them sound like people are working on tunnels deep underground. Perhaps some of them, maybe they're related to, plasma events going on, interaction between the core of the earth and the atmosphere, interaction going on between, the magnetic electrical properties of the earth with the sun and perhaps other heavenly quote-unquote bodies out there. Whatever it is, and maybe it's a combination of all the above or some of the above, this is becoming more and more common. There's no way you could tell me this has always been this way, because we're just seeing so many of these events reported now. And is it just coincidental that Department of Homeland Security is telling us, get ready, get ready for life without the grid? Transformers going down left and right in many areas. Do they know perhaps this is just, small little blips coming through, and there's something major that's going to come, and you're going to see this happen in a wave, maybe from coast to coast. And that's something that they know about. And is it related to these micronova that we are now starting to hear a lot of people talking about, where the sun goes nova, and perhaps that is part of the whole thing as well, because the sun looks different. It's not the same old sun, and many people don't think it even is the same old sun. It's the sun simulator. And so we have all this going on, where we got from government remote viewers decades ago that there was going to be an event like what they've called the kill shot, which is going to basically kill out the whole grid when it comes. As the sun goes asleep, goes deep into the solar cycle and this grand solar minimum, it's going to at some point release this huge wave of energy that is going to fry everything totally and send us back to the Stone Age. And, that apparently happens on a regular basis, according to some sources. So again, this is all the more reason to be off grid, or to be able to be off grid, to prep yourself as best as you can, because it's pretty obvious that something is up here. And so, my friends, as always, I look forward to your comments. Share. Let me know about events that we haven't covered here, and perhaps about things happening locally. And share the things locally. Like I'm going to put together a video updating what's going on, because there's so many exercises going on with military helicopters across the country and from different areas still. And it looks like they're prepping for something. Maybe they're prepping for an event like this. Maybe it's not really a quote-unquote military event, but maybe it's an event in which they're going to have to call out the National Guard just to basically restore order. Because can you imagine what it would do and what a panic it would ensue if we lost the entire grid? And this is something that the studies have shown. There's so many studies out there that talk about if the grid goes down, 90% of the population might be gone in a year. And that's something that's hard to believe and hard to fathom, especially when we didn't have a grid a couple hundred years ago, and we did just fine, and our populations kept growing and people kept spreading. But it's the society that we have now, and let's face it, for the most part, most people are very soft and would not survive too long out in the wilderness by themselves, and let alone survive in a big major metropolitan city of millions of people if all of a sudden there was no food coming in, if there was no power. It would be just an incredible nightmare scenario. So we need to prepare as best as we could in whatever ways we can, and for each person that might be totally different. And again, we need to communicate and share with each other so we can help lift each other up and prepare as best as we can. So I look forward to your comments, my friends. Share your thoughts. Share your things that you are doing. And as always, thumbs up, support the channel. Please do subscribe and click the bell so you get all the notifications as we move deeper and deeper into these amazing times of change. God bless, my friends. Stay safe. Namaste.